we them boys, right? And that's what's annoying people right now. But Harvey, it's already Thursday, man. We're getting closer and closer to the actual game day. We got the Texans ahead. We've been breaking it down slowly here. We're trying to break it down as slowly as possible, but like we tried to be as respectful as possible, right? I mean, we've already said, Texans are they're going through that season, that season that every NFL fan, every part of nation does not want to go through, and that's what the Texans are going through. So, hats off. We already gave the hats off to Houston Astros yesterday. Uh, what can we say? 7 losses in a row, but we're gonna continue our breakdown today. We do have a couple of clips, right? We got Dan Quinn, we got Kellen Moore, man. How was your day, Har?
Good, man. I'm alive, so that matters. But no, man. I'm excited. It's already Thursday. I feel like I'm mixing my days up, man. I felt like it was Friday already. But no, I'm excited, man. Interesting to hear these clips. I heard some stuff that it's very interesting, and I'm glad you're playing them, Jerry, because I don't think a lot of people really pay attention to the small little things that they say. So obviously, we'll break that down, man.
Well, not only that, but it just sometimes we just don't have the time, right? We
Yeah.
we go to work and we get so caught up, and then we got the family that we got to attend to, and then trying to find it. Well, you know what? I'm here, man. I found it for you. And we break it down together. And if you guys are live with us, not yet, right? We're waiting for people to be live. We're live right now on TikTok. Go D. Need a cornerback though. We wanted to highlight that today, but we highlighted that so much yesterday, right? Because I think we've already designated Tuesdays as the day that we cover the cornerback. But from what we've learned is Kelvin Joseph is going to get the first nod at replacing Anthony Brown. And Dan Quinn talked about it with the press release, the press conference they released today. It was from Monday. So Dallas Cowboys, you guys need to step it up, man. We need this content out like 2 days ago. But
Absolutely.
he talked about it. He said that they like what he'd been doing on special teams. They like his tackling ability. It was crazy. He went into depth. He told us exactly how Deron Bland became, a stable now or a starter now on the defense, and very interesting pieces, man. You Harvey, right? You even heard, right? They plugged him in with an earpiece and they let him interact and hear the actual calls that were being called in on the defense, and they played it back to Deron, and they heard him how he was interacting and becoming a leader. So it's very interesting how Dan Quinn coaches up these young men, man, to be players in the NFL. Hey, if you're on TikTok, give us some likes, man. Whenever you guys give us some likes, it goes out a little bit further. So TikTok's a little bit different than obviously Facebook or YouTube, right? But we're live right now. So let's get right into it. Harvey, you choose. What do you want to talk about first, Kellen Moore or Dan Quinn? I mean, what superstar you want to talk about?
We'll save Dan Quinn for last, best for last. So
All
we'll
right.
go with Kellen Moore.
All right, cool, cool, cool. I like what Kellen Moore has to say here because a lot of people are not really understanding it. But you, Harvey, have been on this for quite some time, man, and it's cool that they're finally acknowledging it. So let's go ahead and go straight to the clip and see what they asked Kellen Moore about a specific player, and then Harv, you take over.
Michael.
When time do you expect Max becomes a kind of a three-way player in your interior offensive line, specifically at center, or more broadly? How do you feel he can handle all three? But center, how is he phasing his way into being someone you're comfortable with?
Yeah, certainly he can go in at center, and this game provided us a good opportunity to get him some. Even though it was I think 3 snaps, get him some snaps in the center because obviously he is the the way our roster structure right now, he would be the backup center. And so anytime you get guys opportunities like that, I think it's huge. And, we're fortunate. Max done an awesome job, and he can go play the right side as well. And so he definitely is a really versatile piece for us.
So they just asked him about Connor McGovern, right? I believe they call him Mac, right? MC.
Mac. Yep.
Yeah, and you have been on this for quite some time, right? You said, you would like to see more snaps at, Connor play more snaps at the center position. which is something that nobody's really been talking about, right? We've been talking about Tyler Biadasz, and we'll say this, man. Sometimes there's some games where Tyler looks good, he looks sharp. There's some games where Tyler just looks like he's out of place. Like, in fact, he's probably like one of the guys that you want to get out of there. And then we've been seeing, of course, the play of Connor McGovern at left guard, and he does look a little bit out of place at times, though. There's some traits that we do like about him. So, Harvey, take it away. What is it about Connor McGovern? Why should we see him more at center?
So number one, and just so you kind of guys understand, right? And I'll make it kind of quick. So Connor Williams, we thought was a center, never played center for the Cowboys. The only reason being is because he's really fast and quick compared to Biadasz, right? That's the only reason. Now, for me, wingspan's a big thing for a center. Connor Williams was 77. He plays for the Dolphins now. He's playing center. I think he's the number 1 center per PFF. Have you said that, Jerry?
Yeah, he's been 1 and 2, but pretty much.
So Biadasz has 78-inch wingspan. Connor McGovern has an 82-inch wingspan. So you're like, what does that really matter? Well, what matters is when you hike the ball and you have to try to reach somebody or stop somebody, that helps out a lot. It helps you out a lot more. Now, McGovern may not be as quick and as fast as Connor Williams, but he's stronger. So that, to me, those are the traits of a center. You know what I mean? But I've always thought McGovern should have been the center. But I think that's our best 5 is when Tyron Smith comes back on left, Tyler Smith guard, Connor McGovern at center, and then you got Zach Martin and Steele. I think that's our best 5 going forward. I might be wrong. I don't know. But I personally, as we get down the road, they're going to start, shading that center over the top. So I think McGovern fits that perfectly. But obviously they're talking about it, and they talked about McGovern being center. So you never know, man. At the end of the day, if he does play, let's say we get a blowout here soon, and he plays a lot better Biadasz, I would make the move. That's just me.
I like it, right? But the thing is that with McGovern, that draft class wasn't. I know we talked about Will McClay earlier in the week, right? But that draft class was kind of one of those draft classes that we kind of want to forget, right? Tristan Hill, which we lost, and we heard Dan Quinn talking about Jonathan Hankins, and you know what? Let me just ask you, it's just a yes or no question, because we're not going to go really into detail. Has Jonathan Hankins really helped out this rush defense?
Not really.
Are you sure?
I don't think he has. I don't feel like he has.
I'm gonna have to go back and give you some cut-ups, man, because
you're gonna have to, because I don't think. I mean, so personally, me, like, if you're not in the backfield, I really don't. You're not special to me. You know what I mean? That's just me. But you're right. I really haven't paid much attention to him. He might be eating up double teams.
That's what he's doing. That's what I was trying to point out.
You know what I'm saying? So
I was just going to say, have you noticed with the new player personnel, have you noticed that we've been able to stop the run?
We have. So if the question was yes, then because we did get him and we have been stopping the run. So, and that's really been the only difference. Really.
Well, and I'll tell you this much right now. That's the linebacker's best friend. That's Micah's best friend. That's the Damone Clark's best friend. Anthony Barr and Leighton Vander Esch is when you're able to get that, eat up those, what did somebody call it? A double cheeseburger. I believe that's what they called it, right? A double team, basically. So whenever you're able to see that, that just shows you that, obviously like that Tristan Hill, Connor McGovern, that for whatever reason, that was a year that we traded for Amari Cooper with the first round. That draft class is still debatable. I think the one that really stood out from that draft class is Dono, and that's been you've been preaching to acquire, and finally teams are starting to give him all proper. When I say Dono, I'm talking about Donovan Wilson, right? Number 6. I think I've heard so many nicknames from him. It's crazy. I've heard Torpedo, the Missile, and I saw Micah give him the Jaguar. I like the Jaguar, man. But we understand Micah is the Lion, so nobody else can be the Lion, right? But I know, from all those, which one do you like the most? The Missile, the Torpedo, the
they call him the Hitman too.
Oh yeah, they did call him the Hitman. Which one do you like?
I like the Jaguar, man. Let's go with the animals.
I like the Jaguar too, man.
Yeah, man.
But I'll tell you this, that draft class definitely, Donald really stands out, and Connor McGovern obviously has been standing out. He started off at the right guard. He found a home at left guard. He even beat out Tyler Smith, but we've seen how Tyler Smith playing him at left tackle has really helped him out so much during this season that now when he slides into the left guard, man, he looks so smooth, so natural. He's fast and strong, and man, he's just making everybody look silly out there. And I'll tell you this much right now: every team out there that's doubting the Dallas Cowboys, which is fair, it's cool, man. I know. I mean, we've been let down. I mean, this is literally year 27 since the Super Bowl, so we understand. But you got to understand, this is a different team, and if you're not seeing what we're seeing as part of Cowboys Nation, that's just complete ignorance. And you know what? Your team's gonna get punched right in the mouth, man. And I'm not making that as a threat. I'm saying that just I don't want to get banned or anything like that. But I'm just trying to say, like, you gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? If you're not careful with this Cowboys team right now, it's a team that's starting to hit it on all cylinders. We saw what the defense did last week, and it's great because now we're starting to see the running game. Like we said yesterday, man, back-to-back games of 200 yards rushing. It's a great combination to have during this time. And then if we need, Dak looks like he's starting to come back in great prime position. I know we've been, somebody questioned us and said, hey, our win rate at the offensive line is kind of low, but it is a little bit debatable because, they take into consideration week 1 all the way to what is it? Wow. What are we now? Week 14. So, in the end, we just got to look at the bigger picture. I understand that we had a real rough start, but it's right now, especially the last, these last, what is it? It's going to be, we have 5 games left. So, I mean, definitely for sure, you want to see what you do in these last 5 games and take into consideration. How about the last 7? Because it's actually after your bye week. That's when you want to see your best football. And obviously the Cowboys defense has been in prime position, like, playoff position for a while, but it's good to see that the offense is starting to match that. And it's great to see that, the offensive line has so much versatility. It's good to see that Connor McGovern can play right guard, left guard, and center. Like you said, if he plays center, he might take the job away from Tyler Biadasz, but that's a great problem that a lot of teams don't have because Tyron Smith is coming back. He ain't coming back on the Texans. I believe they already kind of ruled that out. I think it would be against the Jags. Before we transition, Harvey, right? Because like you said, always a great thing. One thing I would say about Connor McGovern is I like his leverage also at that with his long arms. Before we transition, are we eating the cheese, man, as Cowboys Nation? I mean, because I'm trying to find something that I like about this Houston Texans team. And it's hard, right? Aside from this draft class, that's the only thing I really like about this. Are we eating the cheese, man?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I like about the Texans.
What is that?
The fans, just because they're from Texas. That's about it, Jerry. That's about it.
Well, there was some prospects out there, right? I mean, I think Stingley was one of those where they thought he was going to fall and maybe the Cowboys could jump up. And I know they had Jalen Petrie in as a Baylor product. I know they had him in as a 30 visit. Obviously, you don't have to have him as a 30 visit because he was from Texas, right? So, overall, there's some prospects from this draft class. Kenyon Green was the guy that we wanted. But we lucked out with Tyler.
I was praying, man.
Me too, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like that prospect a lot. Hey, I appreciate the likes. Wow, man. Much love to TikTok, man. We were up to
I appreciate it, man. TikTok, appreciate it.
3,000 likes now officially. Wow, man. But anyways, transitioning. Obviously, Mike McCarthy has said all the right things, and to answer the question, it's hard, right? When the week started, it was 14-point favorites. Now yesterday was 16.5. Now it's jumped up to 17-point favorites. It's getting a little bit out of hand. The thing is anytime the media, when you start seeing like the big media, right? You start seeing big media and there's like, oh, this is gonna be an absolute blowout. It kind of gives me flashbacks of the Packer game, man. And man, I don't know why with the Cowboys, there's so much trauma. When I start seeing the media start picking the Cowboys, oh my gosh, it feels like trouble. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool. If you need a little bit more, I can go and do some cut ups. Definitely leave it in the comment section if you want to see me cut up some, get some actual cut ups, right? Of how Mike McCarthy is getting these guys lined up and telling them, hey man, this is how it's going to happen. The what we're looking for is not towards the actual Texans, is the competition amongst each other within the actual uh practice, right? So that's kind of cool approach, right? In other words, keeping the competition going. Because the thing is that they're human beings, man, and it's just like anything, like us,
Is
Cowboys.
that Smiley?
We're at. Oh, that's my that's the other one. That's the other one. That's Jacob right there. That's Jack.
Jacob?
Yep. Of course, Joshua's online too, man. What's up?
The
What's
family,
up,
man.
sons? I know, man. My boys, man. They're awesome, man. I love them. But getting back on subject, yeah, man. It's hard, man, because I feel it, man, for the Texans fans. Damn, man. I'm sorry that you guys are having to go through this, but we went through this crap back in 2020. So, just be patient and just trust the process. And I'm pretty sure you guys will be back. I'll tell you this, the AFC South is not there's nothing really in the AFC South besides the Titans, and the Titans are a beatable team, a very streaky team. So the Texans can be right in it. And I think just finding the right quarterback. Maybe Davis Mills is the answer for right now. But I think that if they can upgrade that quarterback position, they'll be a different team next year. What do you think?
So Jerry, I just want to say a couple of things. I want TikTok, if they're looking at me. I want YouTube and Facebook. Jerry, can you give me a small little, maybe 5 seconds of silence? Because I wanna tell the Texans fans and the Texans that I want to apologize now. So if we can hold for 3 seconds to maybe. All right, that's 3 seconds. Thank you. We want to apologize because you're gonna get your ass whooped on Sunday. I'm sorry about that, but I'm telling you ahead of time, we're sorry. Okay. So that's all I had to say, Jerry.
I'm sorry, man. I hate to say it, but I'm eating the cheese this week. I know sometimes the cheese tastes ugly when it gets old and stuff like that, but man, Texans, just have hope. Stay faithful to your team. Don't be jumping ships. Don't be jumping to the 49ers or Eagles. Those are bad teams. But let's get right into it, man. We're gonna listen to Dan Quinn and we're gonna hear what he has to say. I think that this is a pretty good highlight here with Dan Quinn, and then we can assess it together.
You obviously got enough on your plate, focused on the defense, but I do know that you guys do across the hall every once in a while. But I was wondering with Dak specifically, how do you maybe pick and choose your spots with maybe pointing something out to him, something that you see from defensive things like that?
Yeah, I would say that example like that. I was in with he and Kellen and Doug and the other quarterbacks just a few days ago. It was in between meetings. They were watching some of Indy, and so just my perspective sometimes on what another defense may be doing and what their key is or what they're looking at or where they may be vulnerable at some spots. So it's more just overall general from a defensive standpoint about what a defensive, no, that's not that. They just screwed up on this play. Take that one out, more just, this is what, some of the keys might be on this specific play, but do that with Kellen too, just to, especially if we're playing somebody that, I may have some background with or some knowledge about a system. So I enjoy doing that.
Damn. So he just told us right now. Oh, hold on. We got a comment right now. Alex, Dameon Pierce is a good running back, bright future. I'll let you take over, and then I'll take over, man. We're just having fun today, man.
I'll tell you, man. Dameon Pierce is a good running back. I ain't gonna lie, man, but it's one of those, if you're a great team and you have great receivers, a great quarterback, and then you want to make them one-dimensional, unfortunately, like, you can do whatever you really want with this team. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's an NFL team. You still got to play them. You're right. But I keep saying it, man. This Dallas Cowboy defense, they don't want that taste in their mouth, man. I'm telling you, like, they're going to come to play. And I just don't. But I think instead of doing it in the fourth quarter, they're going to do it from 1 through 4. And I'm just saying, man, you're going to see a lot of backups in the fourth quarter. I'm telling you right now, they're going to bring it, man. And obviously they're going to have to stop Dameon Pierce. But let me tell you, man, that guy ran all over the Eagles. He ran all over them. So obviously, it's somebody we need to keep an eye on. But yeah, I agree, man. He has a bright future.
He does, man. He's a former Florida Gator, I believe, if I'm not. And this is his rookie season, so for him to really be a bright spot on that future, it speaks volumes. And then, like you said, they still have they have him, and then it's hard to count out Brandon Cooks, right? Because regardless, Brandon Cooks has been putting up some good stats, on a weekly basis. I know he went through a little drama because he was expecting to be traded. But this is definitely I think somebody that the Cowboys want to stop, because there's this thing where, especially I think it's more, I would say it's more big media driven than anything, and that's that the Cowboys defense cannot stop the run. Because if anything, I'll tell you this: if you watch the last 3 weeks, that has been a point of emphasis for the Dallas Cowboys, is stopping the run. And I know that the last 2 weeks we've really had a lot of success, more so. But you know what? Let's go 3 weeks, right? Because Minnesota, they had Dalvin Cook, and then Saquon, and then Jonathan Taylor. I mean, those right now, I would have to say they're all competing to be top 5 running backs in the actual NFL. Dameon Pierce has a bright future ahead of him. I think it's pretty great job that he's done to be a rookie and had that kind of success. Like you said, Eagles defense for a long time had the number one defense ranking for a while, until the 49ers took that away. And to be quite honest and frank, if we're talking about statistics, you're talking about the 49ers. The reason why they're ranked so high is because they've allowed 87 yards against the rush. And so, if you want to compare stats, then you're just comparing stats at this point. So we can't go into these things blindly. You gotta really trust your eyes and see what's going on. I think right now with Jonathan Hankins, yeah, okay, we haven't seen him in the backfield gain sacks, but if you go back to the actual tape, man, he's taking up double teams, and he's really allowing the defense, or especially the linebackers, to stop the run, to get into the backfield, and I'll tell you this, I mean, Micah put out well, not let's not pay attention to today's tweet, right? Poor Micah, man. He's still a young player, and anytime a Cowboy says anything, the media wants to run with it and turn it into an evil story, man. But anyways, Micah put out a tweet on Sunday after the Colts game, because the thing was, they went into, I said it yesterday, it was victory formation, but that was kind of like a surrender formation that the Colts went into. They literally took a knee with like almost 2 minutes, and they just said, you know what, enough is enough. When you got teams like that, that just shows you they're afraid of what the defense could do to you. And when the defense dropped 33 points in the fourth quarter alone, that was insane.
Yep.
So, it was the first time that in a long time the Cowboys been able to put up, what was it, 50 burger? So we're it looks like we're projecting towards that. But let's get back to that Dan Quinn thing real quick. Did we always kind of speculated that he helps out Kellen Moore, or that he helps out. In fact, yesterday we insinuated, right? Because we heard Mike McCarthy kind of say, what was the word he used?
I don't remember.
No.
Consensualize or
Yes.
something like that. But basically, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You've never heard him
but I
talk.
was like, what? That only means that there's other people thinking, about what's going on with the offense, or asking questions, or all together in it. So that was kind of interesting. And then for Dan Quinn to say specifically, yeah, man, he asked me, hey, what would this defense mean, or what are they doing when they do this? So that tells me, man, that everybody's all in. They're trying to, as they would say, they're making sure that every stone is unturned, man. So that's good to me, man. Because I'm telling you, if I was an offensive coordinator, I'd be asking my defense, hey, man, when they do this, what does that mean? How are they doing it? How can you disguise that? How did they disguise this? So that's good stuff, man. I'm glad they're all in it. That means they want to win.
And I'm all for it too, man. Like you said, I mean, he was a head coach at one point, and it's cool that
Yep.
he's actually helping out Dan Quinn understand, like you said. Obviously, he says if he's familiar with somebody, he's gonna share his 2 cents, and that's cool, man. I think that when the coaching staff is able to come together and help each other game plan with each other, it means success. That's why, every year it is our year. And I'm sorry, man. That's just it's a part of, the initiation when you're a cowboy, when you're initiated to Cowboys Nation, the first thing you're taught as a young adolescent or a young child is every year is your year, and that's why I keep people hate the Dallas Cowboys so much, and especially the Cowboys Nation. But I will say this. I think that right now, I think Mike McCarthy really turned on, you know what I'm saying? He turned on uh or not, I don't want to say he turned on, but now he's starting to really take charge of this team. And you know what? He has his coordinators working together, and this is a great balance. And then when you see, like the success that we're having with our Russian attack, and then the balance, yeah, we've had a couple slow starts here and there, but you know what? We have a defense that is complementing and carrying for the most part us until we can get it all together. I think that Tyron Smith is actually, it's not OBJ. I think it's Tyron Smith who's the missing piece on offense. I think once we get Tyron back and he gets his legs underneath him, man, we're going to see a completely transformation with the offense and going forward. I'm just really excited. I'm really excited. I'm grateful for these next 2 games that the Cowboys have. And like I said, if we can get the rhythm and get the momentum, just continue going this way. You got the Tennessee Titans, and then boom, we got the Eagles, and of course the Commanders. And I believe that's the end of the season, right? We ended with the Commanders, I believe.
Yep. The Commanders.
Wow, we went through all that content, man, just like that. It feels crazy, right? But I mean, before we end it, let's go through right now the actual injury report, which I got. Quinn Bohanna, obviously, he was dealing with a knee injury. He didn't play last week. He was actually limited Wednesday, and he was limited today. Anthony Brown, of course, the Achilles tendon. Um, he's out for the season. He'll be out for a long time. Jonathan Hankins, he's been out he was out for a personal issue. He didn't participate Wednesday, but he was a full go today. And then Kelvin Joseph had the illness. He did not participate Wednesday. He was a full go today. J-Ron Curse, he's been dealing with the shoulder injury, but he was limited. Yeah, Wednesday, limited today. Of course, D-Law, he's still, man, D-Law is tough as nails, man. He's still practicing with that foot injury, and he was limited. They're not going to push him. They'll release him. Sam Williams also was sick. He had the illness. He didn't participate Wednesday, but he was a full go today. So, Cowboys Nation, looks like the only questions that we have to answer is the actual gameplay on defense, specifically Calvin Joseph. So all eyes on him, man. So we're not expecting a perfect game. We're understanding there's going to be some growing pains, but I think if anything, if you go back and look at the tape from last week, it looked good. I'm pretty sure when you have somebody like Trayvon Diggs, who's he's pretty good as far as locating the ball. I'm pretty sure the way it sounds is they're all working together as a team, and that's what we haven't had in years is a good leader and a group of men that are leading the both groups, right, offense and defense, to the ultimate prize. So we'll see, man. We're not ready to give our predictions today, but stay tuned. Harvey, is there anything else you want to add, man?
No, man, just can you give your hat shout out real quick?
Sure.
Don't
True
forget, man.
True brand. I mean, we've seen the actual number gone up on our subscriptions on YouTube, which is good. Of course, I'm wearing a black on white True brand. Can you see? Yeah, the gold, right? I'm sorry. When you're looking at cameras left and right, but True brand. This is a very it's actually one of the more popular caps out there. This will be given out Sunday kickoff show. that will be given off. And to do it is you got to make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and make sure you're public, right? So just make sure you're public, because that'll at least give us your email address, and that will throw your email into it. It's hard when you don't put public, it doesn't give us a name or an email, so it's kind of hard. And we wouldn't want you to miss out in this cap giveaway for the subscription. But we want to thank you for all the support, man. I believe we do have. I know we teased about having a guest last week. Um,
Yes. We're gonna have a guest tomorrow.
I believe we're gonna have a guest tomorrow. Deanna, whoo, it's been a week. It's been what, a couple of days. Hate to look ahead, but mark your calendar for the Eagles game. That will be a staple game.
Hey man, hey, all I'm saying, man, is I might see Santa Claus that night, because I ain't going to sleep, man. When we win, I might not go to sleep. I'm just saying, Jerry.
I'll tell you this. I like to enjoy an adult beverage once in a while, but I do not do it on Sundays. I'm just saying. But if come Sunday, Cowboys come away with the win, I will have an adult beverage. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I just it's already circled in my calendar. I have an Eagle board that has several darts in it, so I can't wait to that day. And I know it's Christmas Eve, so I forget it's Christmas Eve, so I can have adult beverages. Whew! Sundays are for the Lord. Remember that. Hey, but that's it for us. TikTok. Much love to y'all. Appreciate it. We actually got up to 4,200 likes. We appreciate the love and support on TikTok. Thank you so much for, welcoming us to your community, and hopefully we continue growing. And thank you for all the love on the page. We will see you guys tomorrow. Hey, and if you guys do have a TikTok, check it out, man. We have some cool cut ups, man. We basically kind of cover what we did, today, and we just kind of cut it up. And me and Harvey have been having a lot of fun. We've been getting into the whole editing situation. So, I will tell you this, man. If you do have a TikTok, check it out. It's just like everything else, the Cowboy Cast. And that's it for us, man. You guys enjoy your Thursdays, and